work hard and whine. She work hard and whine. She work hard and whine.
Hello, YouTube. Y'all know I rarely do commentary on reality shows, and I've actually never done commentary on a YouTube reality show, but I figured since we got a fellow person from Vietnam, honey, from the Two Sits, on this show called Chasing Atlanta, which I've seen here and there in the past. I actually prefer the Dallas, franchise a little bit more, although I really don't watch none of them. But the Dallas one held my attention the most. But I might tune in this season just for this person right here. So his name is Riko with a K. And, like he said, he's from Fayetteville. We actually went to the same high school. And we had the same, we actually shared one class together when we was in high school. But this is not why we're here. We're not here to reminisce about, high school days, which I don't care to think about those times. Y'all know that was during the times where I was dealing with my cancer, my Crohn's, being on death though. So Diva try not to go back to her high school days. But anyways, I want y'all to hear this, and per copyright, I'm using this for commentary purposes. We're not going to play everything. I just want y'all to hear some key parts and why I felt like I needed to do a response to this.
It's your boy Riko with a K. Real motherfuckers call me Ree. I was born in Miami, Florida, but I was raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm black and Puerto Rican, and I am a rapper.
Okay, so you heard his intro, rapper. As about 5 years, because I remember back when I first met him, he was a singer first, and then the singing didn't work out for him. And he started doing rapping over the past 4 or 5 years, and I guess that's been working out for him a little bit better. So, and then of course y'all know Diva ain't about to get no copyrights today. Oh hell no to the no.
We basically grew up in the hood, so all we knew was either going into sports or doing music, and I chose to do music. Just growing up, I've always loved being inside on the stage. So performing is nothing to me. That's like where I excel at. I found a way to express myself. And, I used to be really bad. I used to fight. I used to do, all this bad stuff. But, as soon as I...
Okay, now I ain't trying to critique. Now, he might be telling the truth. But now, not only did we went to the same high school, but we went to the same middle school as well. And we never crossed paths in middle school. And I wouldn't have recognized him because he was substantially chubby. Now, I was a thick girl back in the day, too, but he was an even more thicker, girl, honey. He was substantially bigger than me back then. Short, no hair at all, or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what fights did he get into back then as somebody who is basically white passing, Puerto Rican. Because like I say, even when he was chubbier, honey, you did not think of no blackness. And the way his hair is, his hair grows out like in a straight wavish pattern until it get, till it grows out, and then it's like that 3A curl pattern. I'm trying to figure out what fights did he get it. But then again, this is not the point of the commentary. People want to go on with the rest of
I found, my purpose with music. Ever since then, I've just been good. A good boy. Basically, I moved to Atlanta to pursue my dreams of music. This is like the music capital, if you really think about it. So I came here, I finished my album.
Everybody goes to the black capital of the world, but nobody talks about the struggle too tough that Atlanta... Yeah, it's the Atlanta opportunity, but you got to really have a... So I give him that he took his chance on Atlanta because, honey, Atlanta, you really got to have your hustle game on for it, honey. There's so many people that go there, and there's so many people that don't make it, but he done made himself on the cast of Chasing Atlanta, so I do give him a Pelosi clap for that, but carrying on.
And I'm just here promoting. I'm trying to get my name out, trying to meet, network, work with as many people. I'm also ghostwrite, so I've been doing a lot of that here.
Okay. girl, who you ghostwriting for? Who? Now I hate to be shady, but we ain't heard too many of your own stuff pop off a little long for you to be on the ghostwriting tip. Like, you ain't necessarily Missy Elliott or Candy Burris or a Tweet, Solange. Who are we ghostwriting for? Cause everything I hear up in with these modern day rappers is the mumble jumble and all that bullshit, honey. The inquiring minds want to know though. Like I said, I haven't heard none of his stuff hit the stream on the SoundCloud. And then, this ain't to, put somebody down. Someday he might get up there, but not today. It ain't been today, baby. I'm just curious who's he ghostwriting for down in Atlanta.
So yeah.
Now let me tell you what it is from the 305.
And while I'm talking shit, his algorithm ain't going to get me on this darn copyright.
It's straight up hip hop. That's really what it is. I sing a little bit as well, but you're just gonna get some real rap because that's what I do. I don't play when it comes to rapping. That's like my MO. I can write, you a verse 16 real quick. So yeah, the main reason why I wanted to do this show is I wanted to show a different side of me. Because all I do is talk shit in my raps. That's what I do. So
that's everybody.
I just wanted people to get to know who I am. I open up with the group and talk about, my sexuality, how comfortable it is. This is new to me, being around a whole bunch of, a group of gay guys. And because, look, where I come from, we got to be a certain way. We can't be, we can't be no punks. We can't be no sissies.
Now, there's a little truth to, now, once again, now he putting 20 on 10, and I ain't going to air out all his business. Now, yes, you couldn't, from the block, especially where I'm from. Now, he ain't from where I'm from, but in my area of, in Fayetteville, you damn sure couldn't really be no flaming queen like that. Like, you had to be the down low type of brother. And I guess that's where he could have possibly dealt with discrimination a little bit later on, being as light skinned that he is, a biracial Puerto Rican of African, I'm assuming the black side of his family is the black American, African American, ADOS. And then his mother is, a white Puerto Rican with maybe a little bit of Taino ancestry, but definitely she's not a Taino, Puerto Rican by any means. Probably just got trace amounts. But yeah, having the long hair, being a butch queen, and being in Fayetteville, fair skinned as you is, yeah, I can see that he might have had some issues. But I'd be curious to know what area in Fayetteville he grew up on, because I not saying that I know everybody but our area is very small, and I definitely know that he's not from it's almost like darn gone J. Cole. J. Cole like to say he's from the block, but Forest Hill Drive, honey, y'all seen me in my vlogs drive on Forest Hill Drive to go to IGA. Honey, darn gone Forest Hill Drive ain't no damn block. Honey, Forest Hill Drive ain't no shit popping off on Forest Hill Drive. Now, one street over the Cane Road Mobile Trailer Park, honey, that's where the shit used to pop off. Y'all heard my story back in the day where I told you about the 400-pound Indian bitch. We cool now. But back then, that bitch pulled out a darn gone samurai sword out of her darn gone breast. And I'm still shocked by that to this day. Because y'all know Diva Wan been shot at multiple times. Diva Wan done had a brick thrown at her multiple times, including one time by the Indian bitch that busted my darn gone girl pile's darn gone door. Diva Wan been through some shit. But that trailer park, honey, I have to mark it for the history books. Honey, when she pulled out that darn gone sword, and she didn't cut up herself, number one, I'm trying to figure out how did she hide the sword. This bitch is 400 pounds. She got triple G breasts. And she had a bra on. I'm trying to figure out how did she not cut the bra. But I digress. That's what you call living about that life, honey. I don't know where he grew up from, but I can assure you, I don't think he has those types of stories to tell. And you can tell because it reflects within the raps. Because if he truly lived 1/3 of what Diva Wine went through, honey, the bars would be a far stronger than the mediocre, just rapping about cash and drugs and, getting hoes and bitches and all that. See, you can tell the motherfuckers who really grew up in the struggle. Because, honey, let Diva Wine write some motherfucking bars, honey. Diva Wine going to be on some darn Remy Ma type shit. Diva Wine going to be on that show no hood type shit, like the Ice Cubes and whatever. Not no darn people who fronting like Little Kim. Shout out to the original Queen Bee. But honey, we know her ass was a lawyer before she became a law student. She wasn't really about that life. We know that Rick Ross was a darn security guard. Honey, you got so many of these notable people who act like they about the hood and shit, and really ain't. It's like, honey, you grew up around the way from the hood. Just like J. Cole grew away from around the hood. Now, I'm assuming he's in the same predicament, honey. But this is not the point of this video. But, while we at it, we're just going to give some commentary all the way throughout, and then we're going to close it out what really pissed me off with darn Riko with a K, honey.
I bring realness. I'm bringing myself. I'm not bringing no, any type of facade. I'm not over here renting clothes to, look like, I'm the shit. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get me. I'm not gonna be fake. I'm not gonna tell people what they want to hear. And I'm also bringing a little bit of. I just feel like my type of gay is not represented, as much as it should.
Okay, here we go, y'all. See, now this is when shit goes left. See, to my trade, to my Butch Queens. See, y'all, this is the shit that darn pisses us FEM girls and the trans women off when y'all be on this shit. Okay, not everybody has to wear makeup and lipstick and heels and all that. We understand that there is masculinity and shit. Cause Lord knows Diva Wine, we loves us a good trade every now and again. But see, when you come out, the girl don't all, see this that darn backhanded shady shit that I don't like. It's like, girl, okay, if you not feminine, okay, fine. But bitch, don't give no darn backhanded darn compliments and insults and shit. See, this is what pissed me off right here during this last minute.
Should be, which is a masculine, man. I don't have those role models. I can't name them off the top of my head. So that's what I wanted to bring to this table. I wanted, a 13-year-old boy in Fayetteville, North Carolina that was like me, that didn't know how, to be gay, because I'm not, hey girl, how you doing? I'm very chill. I'm very, hello, how you doing? So I wanted to be that role model. I wanted to also show people in Fayetteville, North Carolina that do music, that there are doors, for you to go to. In Fayetteville, I'm probably the only homosexual rapper that's really doing the damn thing. And that's because people are told no many times because they're flamboyant, because they're this and they're that. And I just want to show them, hey, you can take this route. You can do this. You don't have to stay inside of Fayetteville to represent Fayetteville. So yeah. What's up? This and they're that. And I just want to show them, hey, you can take this route. You can do this. You don't have to stay inside of Fayetteville to represent Fayetteville. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to end it here and get back on full screen. And we're going to break that little last part down real quick. See, that last darn 20 seconds, Marcus, you done fucked up. You really fucked up. And Diva Wine going to have to get your ass together. So, hold on 1 second. I'm going to switch back over to full screen. Like I said, it be the Butch Queens that always want to try to shade the darn showing up true FEM girls, honey. And my thing is this. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Woo. Why did you try to darn on come for your girl, honey? And you know, I'm not saying that he came for me directly. For, you know, even though we have so many mutual friends and colleagues and stuff, we really didn't know each other like that. We only knew of each other. But bitch, we now about to see each other, honey. We see each other. Cause I'm about to get you all the way together, darn gone Riko with a K, aka Marcus. Marcus. I know you since you was Marcus, baby. And I ain't gonna put out your whole, you know, entire government out there. Like I said, we went to the same high school. We went to the same, we had the same class. And granted that I was only there half the time because I was going through my cancer and Crohn's disease. But one thing I know is two things for certain. Honey, you was never the full masculine guy back in the day. You was known as the pretty boy. I'm not saying that over the years you couldn't have darn gone gotten more in tune with the masculine side of your aesthetic, which you have for the fact that you have grown a full, you know, the goatee and all this shit. I remember back when you was clean shaven and all of that, the long, silky, darn gone number 3, number 4 brown hair and all of that. And now it's more child. Now, I understand you trying to, you know, masculine on up, but do the hair got to be let go like that? Like, we can still upkeep the hair. Like, you know, I implore the girls and the guys that, you know, it don't really cost that much to get a good protein treatment. It doesn't cost that much to get a good Olaplex treatment. Honey, that hair is fried, dyed, and oh, the curls are turned into darn on ratchet waves. But then again, you is in ratchet darn on Atlanta. I guess you trying to fit the aesthetic of the platform, but which you now on. But one thing you should not have done is try to come for the darn on girls who are truly authentic and about that life. The ones that have lived the struggle that you're trying to claim that you are from. So while you trying to darn gonna put on this masculine persona, which I don't know who you fooling because you still give 100% butchqueen.com teas, and there's nothing wrong with that. We enjoy our butch queens of all the persuasions for the ones who are more masculine and the ones who are more on the feminine side of the spectrum, such as yourself. Honey, I don't know why you saying that there has never been no representation of the girls like you. And throughout time, honey, we got Boy George, we got Ricky Martin, the original Riko Suave, honey. Viva la viva loco, viva la viva loco, viva la viva loco, honey. Da 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 da, honey. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell you did not see no representation of you up on the TV screen. And you got Ricky Martin, you got darn on Boy George, you got the likes of Adam Lambert. And matter of fact, that's the tease that you gave me back in high school was the, you know, a longer, more prettier version of Adam Lambert because, you know, you had the long, silky, straight hair. You wasn't opposed to wearing some, you know, some fingernail polish, the black gothic polish, a little bit of eyeliner, maybe a little dose of not no full face. Now he wasn't never one of the girls that did the full face. Maybe a little bit of no makeup look. You know, he wasn't opposed to a little bit of foundation. You know, he did take theater when he was in school as well. The theater, honey. You know, and you know you got to get that soap opera beat, honey. So you know he might not have been opposed to a little bit of spray on, you know, foundation, the ones that you can't tell that the men are wearing it too tough, that gives that nice, light, even beat, honey. But once again, just like there's different spectrums of femininity, there's different spectrums of masculinity. And I'm not trying to discount the masculinity that you got, but honey, don't be acting like you one of the unclockable, undetectable darn gone trades when, honey, your darn gone flame quiet as kept. Actually, not as quiet as it's kept because you was more of the flamboyant darn gone girl than me. I was the darn gone silent yet noticeable queen. Like I in high school, I was the girl where, well, shit. I was the one that was really more darn on rough around the edges than dang you. Honey, I was the one that was unclockable for the longest. I was the one that was showing up. I was that hood Grace Jones bitch that people suspect the femininity, but since I had so much, boyish clothes, but I always had, my voice was super light back then. And I had a flair about myself, but it was a natural feminine trans flair. And I did a video many years ago about the differences between femininity and flamboyancy. And this ties into this video for this reason. Because you can be feminine and not be flamboyant. Like, I'm very feminine. But outside of doing like a Beyonce commentary, I'm not really flamboyant. And many people know that about me. I'm not one that's very extroverted in personality. I'm very introverted, very, to myself. Feminine, not flamboyant. You, on the other hand, are actually more flamboyant. I would not necessarily say you're feminine, but you're flamboyant. And it's funny that you're talking about that you don't see representation like you, as if you are a full-on masculine trade type of darn on gay, and that's not really who you are. Now, I understand that there's an influx of the queens and the Butch queens and stuff that is on the Chasing Reality and the Love and Hip Hop platforms, and maybe you wanted to try to go more of the Milan Christopher route and try to show more of the macho and even Milan Christopher. But I digress. But I understand maybe you wanted to go that route to differentiate yourself a little bit, because the Butch queens, there are more on the masculine side of the persuasion, do get a little bit more marketability. He was right about that. The Butch queens do get seen a little bit noticeable because, hell, quiet as kept, 1/5 of the guys in the industry, honey, are part of the community, honey. How you doing? How you doing? But yeah, it's like, just because y'all are seen a little bit more favorable, to encourage somebody to be who they are not is quite deplorable. Because y'all catch that little tidbit on the end where he really told his own tea. Because it's like, if you're truly darn going a masculine gay man, why did you go into the spiel of talking about encouraging 13-year-olds to go this route? See, you got to listen to words, honey. Now, I was never an English major in school. I was a C average student. But, honey, word comprehension is key, and that's one thing I did pay attention to. Shout out to Miss Leggett, who was my 11th grade English teacher down near the E.E. Smith High School. One thing I did learn from her ass was darn going comprehension. So you got to listen real carefully when people be talking, because sometimes they tell on themselves. And Mr. Riko with a K, you really told on yourself in that last bit, talking about how you can go this route. What you mean go this route to get in? If that's really who you are, that's not a route that you need to go. That's just your essence. That's just who you are. You wouldn't use those types of terminology if that is innately you. If you're innately fully masculine to the extent of which you're trying to portray for this darn gone show, honey. And I ain't trying to darn gone ruin your coins. Hopefully, they don't be shady and use my YouTube video, for the reunion or whatever. This ain't coming from no hateration. This is just coming from some good constructive criticism from one of the FEM girls from Vietnam, that when you threw that stone, it did come my way, honey. So hopefully they don't use this on the reunion, honey, and chop up my words. But like I said, if you really are innately masculine, why in the world will you encourage young boys who are growing up to take a route of this is how they can get in the music industry, and thus perpetuating that darn on stigma of you can only make it and be successful if you put on more of the masculine role? Because that's what I got from that last part. Because once again, if you are innately masculine, or if you are naturally that, you wouldn't talk about somebody going this route, because it wouldn't be a route for them to go. Because if you're truly that, it's just innately in you. But once again, while you trying to throw shade, you revealed your own teeth. Because, like I said, I know you. And yes, people from high school days can change. It's not like we graduated last year. Honey, we approaching our 10-year reunion in 2022. And you know, just like he's found out a lot of things about himself since then, honey, I found out a lot of things about myself since then. Honey, I ain't even know at that time that I was on the T side of the spectrum. I really knew, but at the same time, I didn't fully knew until a couple years later. So, yes, we evolve over the years and we become more in tune with our, you know, sexuality and or gender identity. We find out more about ourselves. And that's okay. But then when you talk about the music industry and the discrimination that takes part of the music industry, knowing how it discriminates against open gay men, trans women, honey, I don't even think I can't even name one trans darn woman that's really doing it in the music industry. I can tell you some gender benders, but not necessarily a trans woman. But to say that because it's harder for us to make it, for us to fake it till we make it, no. We got to start busting down these darn stigmas and, you know, walls and stuff. Remember them walls we built, baby, they tumbling down. Then he put up a fight. Honey, it's time for us to put up a fight. And it's time for us to make all the sound. Honey, and Lord knows it ain't gonna be me. And once again, we all got to know how we gonna bust down these darn walls, honey. We stick to your lanes of which you see. I know with my darn goat raspy vocal having ass, music is not my ministry. No matter how much I love to sing, I'm the girl that is more on the entrepreneur side of the route. But for my girls who are on the music side of the route, I'm going to speak in place of them and say they don't got to change a motherfucking thing. Honey, look at Big Frida, the Queen Diva, best to believer. You already know. Honey, look at Big Frida. Created a whole genre for herself. Well respected down in no-low, baby. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with her. Ain't nobody about to darn gonna fuck with Queen Diva, best to believer. So yeah, it might take us a little bit longer. But guess what? We come out far stronger. It's just like a black diamond, baby. We built under pressure. So while you trying to throw a little bit of light shade to the darn film girls to distance yourself from the avenue of which you were more closer to until you darn want to turn up for the darn reality television. See, my thing is this. Be who you want to be or pretend to be, but don't throw nobody else down. Don't be trying to throw salt in the game at nobody else. We understand that, you know, y'all get on these motherfucking shows and y'all want to put on and front and all this, act like you more about the hood than what you are, knowing that you ain't never grew up on Murkison Road, didn't grow up in Bonnie Doon, didn't grow up on Preston Drive, can't name not one person from the motherfucking block on any of those damn blocks like that. You grew up from around the way, but not on, you know, not on the darn block. You grew up from around the way. You're more comfortable to J. Cole than to Diva. You're more comfortable to J. Cole than the motherfucking Remy Ma. You're more comfortable to J. Cole as opposed to a Biggie or Tupac Shakur. And that's okay. Not everybody is meant to darn be from the hood. Oh, wait, I don't understand this about rappers either. Why everybody got to darn be this hardcore rap and all this? Like, can we get some diversity? Hell, it worked out for Drake. Drake don't really, you know, be on that super hood shit. His shit's on a different side of the spectrum. And hell, he's the biggest thing out there. So that goes to show that you don't have to put on to be successful. You don't have to pretend to be something that you're not. Now, granted, are you going to face trials and tribulations and discrimination in this darn crooked ass music industry? Being feminine, yes. Being black, hell yes. If you're not like darn Riko, you know, biracial, white passing and whatnot. If you're closer to my aesthetic, honey, you going to get it all types of ways, honey. You're going to get it from the church girls. You know. You're going to get it from your immediate family members. Because, you know, the way the Latinos tackle the gay community versus the black community is totally different. The Puerto Ricans are a lot more accepting, honey. I hear Puerto Ricans even go out their way to raise up money for the trans girls, sex changes and shit in the family. Honey, Big Mama ain't going for none of that shit, honey. Big Mama be ready to cast your ass out, honey, and be darn on throwing holy water and shit as you hit the door. So yeah, we understand that there are different. It's going to be way more hard and different for me if you're closer to my color than Riko. It's going to take you far longer. You might have to be independent, which I think is the best way to go nowadays, because the music industry, they ain't really about, you don't need to be caught up in no 360 deals. But I can assure you, if you stay true and authentic to yourself, honey, the reward is far more bigger. It's far more worth it than trying to put on a front. Cause that's what you doing, darn on Marcus. Like I said, you ain't never been no full FEM girl, but bitch, don't act like you was this darn gonna trade this whole time now. Like, come on now. And that's my darn gonna critique. I could say far more, but like I said, this was just to call you out on that subject. I ain't really trying to go there with going into some more tea. So we just gonna leave it at that. So let's have the conversation, y'all. I know I got a few trade men that follow me that I love and admire. Some that I don't know as much as well, but I would love for y'all to chime in, because not all the men that follow Diva One is, trans or feminine. I got quite a few masculine gays that follow me. So I want y'all thoughts on this. What are y'all thoughts on him darn going suggestion, putting out the innuendo that you need to darn going pretty much put on the Butch fop. Damn, I can't even get my words together. Put on the Butch front, honey. Put on the Butch front, honey. That needs to be a phrase. Put on the Foss. Damn, I can't even get my words together, y'all. See, this is why you don't record before you eat, honey. I can't get the word out, but put front. That's the word we're going to say. I can't even think of the French word for it. Y'all know what I'm trying to convey. But anyways, what are y'all thoughts on this shit? Like I said, just a sad mess. And I was so happy to see somebody, not only from the 2-6, but somebody that I actually know of, that, I went to school with. I was so proud to see that he done made it after all these years, starting to get some notoriety. And, done made it onto a reality show. I was getting ready to darn go, this was going to be my first show that I was going to actually review from beginning to the season finale, because y'all know Diva One ain't never done no dedicated TV reviews. But see, this done put a bad taste in my mouth. This done turned me all the way off. I might darn gonna watch a couple episodes just to see what he's about, but now I don't even think I'm even gonna do no commentary, because see, just your interest. See, first impressions always count, and see, you done left a bad taste in my mouth just with this first impression. And like I said, if this is what you giving, honey, I don't want no parts of it. As somebody who darn gonna went to school with you, as somebody who has so many mutual friends and colleagues, we only have 1 degree of separation, and for you to be putting on this shit, I'm like, And y'all can say I might be darn gone coming from a place of bitterness and malice as a 27-year-old film girl from the Fayetteville, where, some of them words could have rang true. Being stuck in this darn gone boring ass city, because he was right about that. You damn sure got to move out of here to make something about yourself, honey. You damn sure ain't really gonna pop off if you stay here. So I will give him that. But to go as far as the darn gonna encourage young impressionable girls and, young boys of the feminine persuasion, that they have to put on the facade. That's what I was trying to darn gonna think of earlier. I don't know why I couldn't get that word out, but facade. You trying to put on the facade of being more on the masculine side of the equation than what you are, and then talking about masculinity as if you wasn't the one that never used to put on a eyeliner, nail polish, and a darn on, hell, you was more darn on feminine than me in darn on school. Shit, I was the darn on old rough silly, and it did, like I said, with the cancer, it didn't help that my skin was fucked up back then. You know, I was really looking not rough, honey, but I was really looking like old dusty darn on hound dog back in the senior year, honey. Before, you know, I did my transformation at the end of the year, got my weight off, honey. Diva done lost 40 pounds in 2 months. Got my skin together, grew my hair back a little bit, had my hair down the hill before by graduation, honey. February, my hair was like here, and y'all seen it. Y'all go back to my early days on YouTube, and y'all seen in February, my hair was like right here, honey. That shit was down the hill by the time darn gone June popped around, baby. So. But this ain't about reminiscing about old days and stuff. This was the subject at hand is, do y'all think darn gone film girls have to butch it up or masculine it up to darn gone really get into the industry? I would say yes. But should we continue to have to deal with that? No. But I want to know y'all perspective. If y'all think different, I definitely implore y'all to put it down in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going, because that's the ultimate topic that it really, you know, irritated me with darn on Riko with a darn on K, honey. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me if y'all want to be watching Chasing Atlanta. Like I said, the jury is still out for me because, honey, he done put a darn on bad taste in my mouth on this. I might still... I might stomach it for 3 episodes just to see if, you know, if he changes. Cause once again, you know, the power of editing, and you know, sometimes these directors darn gonna be, you know, forcing people to change up their darn own person. Because like I said, in person, he's a sweetheart. Like I will say this, he wasn't one that was about drama or none of that in school. And even after high school, like I said, there's only a degree of separation between us. I never heard about him being in no altercations. That's why I was shocked to hear about, you know, him talking about he grew up having to fight and all this. And I was like, child, who was you fighting? I mean, you know, from one former fat bitch to a former fat, you know, Butch, honey. The only person I could have seen you fighting was the darn gonna get in line for the darn gonna breakfast, honey. Because you know back in the day when they used to serve them darn gonna round donuts, honey. Now I can see your darn gonna chubby darn gonna Pillsbury Doughboy shaped ass trying to darn gonna fight to get that last bit of donut during breakfast time. That's about the only fight that I could have seen this darn gonna because that's what he reminded me of. He reminded me of the Pillsbury Doughboy. So I'm trying to figure out who was Pillsbury fighting in middle school, as if you talking about you had to fight somebody in the hood. But anyways, he could very well be telling the truth, but I can tell you for a fact it definitely wasn't on the motherfucking Burton, honey. It wasn't from Bonnie Doon. It wasn't from Preston. Maybe Bragg. I don't know. I want to say not Bragg. I want to know what hood was it in Fayetteville, because it wasn't none of those streets that I mentioned, honey. But anyways, y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. The subject once again is do you think feminine gays and trans women have to masculine up to get in the industry? And if so, do you think the change should finally come for us to, you know, no longer have to do that, especially with the likes of folks like, you know, Big Frida on the scene, Saucy Santana, that's another one who's done you know, blew up and became a big name. And you know, the list goes on and on. Even on the like I said, on the gender bending side, on the fair skin, you know, you got your Adam Lamberts, and then throughout history, you got your Boy Georges of the world. You got your Ricky Martins. And then on the full feminine side of the spectrum, or, you know, the drag profession, you had RuPaul. She was always a big name. And look where RuPaul is at now. So like I said, it might take us a little bit longer, and then the darker you are, you go through a little bit more of the criticism. But I noticed that, honey, like I said, diamonds are built under pressure, and the ones who had to go through the most pressure are the ones who really succeed the most in the end. The ones who go that route that you trying to go, Marcus, yeah, you might get a little bit more forefoot fame up front, and then y'all, you know, you're pretty to look at for the time being, then you throw it on out. Same thing happened with Milan Christopher. Okay, he was good to look at for a quick second, and here. That what happens with all the Butches, in my opinion. Like I said, if y'all, let's have the conversation. In my personal opinion, I think really, you know, a film girl don't have to change for nobody. And then it shouldn't be no damn division. It shouldn't be no doggone film versus butch versus masculine. Honey, we all who we are. And it's like, why can't we just appreciate each other no matter what side of the spectrum we on? Why it always got to go into a back and forth banter? Where you have to have a country bama bitch like me have to come up on here and get one of y'all together. Like, it's like, if we ain't dealing enough with this darn on presidency, with darn on Donald Trump, and you know, Mike Pence trying to roll all our shit back, you have, you know, some of the girls trying to shade some of the other girls. But, final closing, y'all leave it down below, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.